Let's join John Psaropoulos live from Athens. And John, this is a momentous occasion for Greece. Give us a sense of what's at stake here.
What's at stake is the future of Greece, really. We're talking about whether banks will reopen this week as scheduled. We're talking about whether they will be given further liquidity from the European central banking system, or whether they're going to have to dip into depositors' savings. We're talking about whether the Greek government is going to be solvent this month, whether they will receive another financial aid package with which to repay debt or go into default within July, or whether they'll even be able to pay the salaries and pensions at the end of July from taxpayer revenue. And we're talking about whether this economy will finally stand on its own 2 feet, whether the combination of policies that are decided upon here in Athens and those that are essentially dictated by creditors can achieve the right mixture in order to help the private sector stand up again and produce the revenues that the state so needs to pay those pensions and state salaries and, of course, serve the debt. So really everything is at stake that is material, but there are also immaterial, virtual values here at stake. Whether Greece will claw back its sovereignty from its creditors, whether it will remain in a Western-oriented stance towards the European Union and within the European core. Much of the country wants this to be the case. Most people want to remain within the Eurozone, but Greeks don't know if they have the stamina to withstand greater austerity measures.
And there's been so much rhetoric in Greece from both sides over the last few weeks, accusations of fear-mongering and terrorism, and as you say, the banks have been closed. Do you get any feeling at all about which way this referendum may go?
That's a very good question. The opinion polls of the last week haven't been of any help. They put both sides within the margin of error of each other. We've seen unofficial opinion polls which suggest that the no vote might prevail. But again, those polls don't give a very large margin to the no vote, so it could still swing in an unexpected way. I think if you look at the way the last general election has gone, you might get some sort of an idea. Look at who's supporting the no vote. It's the ruling party, Syriza, which got 36% of the vote. But it's also the anti-austerity parties that are in the opposition, Golden Dawn, the Communists, and the Independent Greeks. All together, those 4 parties amount to more of the popular vote dating back to the January election than the parties that are supporting the yes vote. The yes vote really is backed only by the socialists and the conservatives, each of whom held power for 2 years during the crisis and ultimately lost it because of austerity, and the much smaller party, the River, which is a new arrival in Parliament this year, but they only get 6% of the vote. All of those parties together, the yes vote parties, don't amount to more than 38% of the popular vote. Most of Parliament is in fact anti-austerity. So if you take the January election as a guide, the Greek population as a whole ought to go against this package.
Well, John, I guess we'll find out soon enough. Shortly after the polls close, we should be getting some ideas. John, for the moment, thank you very much indeed for that. John Psaropoulos in Athens there.